This Chinese Buddhist monk saved 24,000 refugees during the Nanjing massacre, but now he is being stripped naked and publicly humiliated by the Japanese army. In the bitter cold of winter, buckets of ice water were poured over his head. Although his limbs were numbed by the freezing cold, he continued to offer salvation to the refugees and refused to reveal the whereabouts of the film documenting Japanese war crimes or the Chinese generals. Enraged, Yamada of the Japanese army shot the monk on the spot and warned Master Jiran that he must hand over the film and the Chinese general within 3 days, or else the entire Qixia temple would be razed. Lives were at stake. That night, Master Jiran picked up his brush and wrote down the various crimes committed by the Japanese army at Qixia temple.
On January 6th, Japanese soldiers stole more than 300 jin of grain and raped 6 women. On January 11th, Japanese soldiers shot and killed 3 people, including 1 monk. From January 16th to January 30th, Japanese soldiers came to the temple almost every day to loot and commit acts of rape. On February 19th, Japanese soldiers killed Master Jihai of our temple and shot and wounded several others.
With this letter, and with the help of Mr. Rape, I found the Japanese embassy in China.
I can't see it. In this open letter, we have detailed the crimes committed by Japanese soldiers at my Qixia temple, which are absolutely intolerable to both the Chinese and Japanese Buddhist communities. Whether Mr. Oishi believes in Buddhism or not, any act of wanton killing of innocents is unforgivable and cannot be condoned.
We sincerely hope that the Japanese military troops will no longer be allowed to enter this particular area.
It is obvious that no amount of sexual power can compare to the power of force. Master Jiran could only publish the contents of the letter in the newspaper. Captain Yamada was furious.
Yamada!
At this moment, Benchang suddenly paid a visit. He pleaded with Yamada to spare Qixia temple for the sake of having studied under the same teacher in Japan years ago. He also promised to persuade Master Jiran to hand over the film and the Chinese general, and falsely claimed that rather than staying in war-torn China, he would prefer to take his sister Suping back to Japan, but needed Yamada to issue a special pass. Yamada generously agreed. That night, the temple joined with the refugees to hold a funeral ceremony for the deceased elder monk. Disguised as a commoner, the Chinese general took the opportunity to leave the place. But just as Benchang and Suping were leaving with the film, they ran into Yamada, who had been lying in ambush for some time. Suping was hit by a hail of bullets. Benchang had no time to grieve. He grabbed the film and escaped alone. A few days later, news of the Chinese general's successful escape to Wuhan caused a sensation.
Extra! Read all about it. Liu Wenxiang, the general of Nanjing, evaded the Japanese blockade and arrived safely in Wuhan.
The Japanese army ordered the encirclement of Qixia temple. At Yamada's command, the temple would be razed to the ground. Master Jiran stood in front of the temple with his palms pressed together. In that moment, what Yamada saw was no longer just a revered monk, but an indomitable living Buddha among men. Yamada's raised hand trembled even more, unable to bring himself to give the order to slaughter. Master Jiran used the Buddhist doctrine of compassion as his weapon, engaging in a confrontation between humanity and brutality with the Japanese army. In the end, justice triumphed over evil, and not only was it preserved,